Hello and welcome back to Master Magic. I'm finally back again after quite a long hiatus with another video. I just have not been able to find any collections that I felt were worth sort of taking a gamble on in the last, I don't know, maybe a year or so since I last uploaded a video, I think, which is quite a long time. The UK market for these kinds of things tends to be a lot smaller than the US, and I like generally taking gambles on the cheaper side of collections. But I managed to pick this one up for, I think it was 18 or maybe £20. There'll be a picture of the listing up again from eBay. I have no idea, it was just a couple of pictures of Fat Pack boxes. It could be complete junk, but for that kind of price, I thought it was worth taking a gamble on. It's nice to be back making another video. And yeah, so we'll go through these boxes. There's, what, 3 Fat Pack boxes in this little box of extra stuff. Might all be just commons and uncommons, but we will see. So yeah, let's give it a go and see if we can pull anything spicy. We've got a Baldur's Gate Fat Pack box and a Dominaria one. So Shieldred, I guess. There's fairly new cards, honestly, which is kind of good and bad. This is some kind of Commander Precon, I think. Oh, we do have rares, so that's a good sign. Yeah, this looks like a Commander Precon, although I'm not familiar with the enough with the symbols. Maybe a Capenna one, SCD. I'm not sure, but we'll find out, I would imagine, soon. This is Dominaria Remastered, I think. Swords of Kashmir is not bad. Uncommon, Counterspell. I'll probably have to go through these commons and uncommons and pull out the good stuff. Since it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, I'm not quite as up to date on my prices as usual. That's Val Commander there. This is some sort of flying deck, but I'm not sure. Is it the starter precon for Commander Legends maybe? Or I mean, it wasn't for Commander Legends, but it was released around that same kind of time. Another Dominaria Remastered there. This is a Zombies. Is this just the two? Sorry, I'm really not up to date with my more modern precons. This is some sort of zombie precon for sure. But it doesn't look like the Val one. It must be, because SCD must be starter commander deck. But there is a lot of rares in them, even if most of these rares I don't think are particularly great right now. Like stuff like this is just not, it's just going to be bulk. This is just a regular Dominaria, so there are some normal cards in here. This is another, just a Neo Vehicles precon. Got a random foil common there. And some just regular Commander Legends, this looks like. There are some sleeved, this is a Capenna life counter. There are some sleeved cards here by the looks of it, although they don't seem to correspond to any regular kind of decks, just a full island there. We've got some stuff from some other games here. It's always funny to find this Warcry or something. Yeah, some Games Workshop game. I'll probably, I've got a precon rare technically, although again not particularly great. I'll probably split up the different decks and see if this is a vampire precon, is it, from Commander Legends? Oh, Commander Legends Crimson Vow. This is a 40k card. Strange one to find, unless the whole deck is just in here. There's just a big mix of precons by the looks of it. There's another 40k. This is what a Forgotten Realms Commander card. So it seems like maybe they just bought a whole ton of Commander precons and then broke them up. Path to Exile's a decent common and uncommon. Another 40k one there. Another random foil thing. Steel Seraph, which has seen some play, although I'm not sure if it actually has any value to it, unfortunately. This is another AFR card. This is such a strange, assortment of things. good. It seems like it's good value already to me, but this is only the first box, and if everything is just like this and just Commander Precon cards, then I think we will have ended up doing pretty well, although I haven't necessarily seen anything of like insane value so far. Like I said, a lot of these Precons don't tend to reprint anything with like super huge value in them generally, although these are old enough that potentially some of the cards have spiked up again a little, and there are some stuff from regular packs here too, so we could end up getting lucky with some stuff from, oh, this guy is what, the Tyranids Commander Precon. I'm pretty sure he's got some value. I know he's a popular commander for deck building. It's quite strong. Just some random, oh, those are not tokens. Sorry, I was throwing the tokens off to the side, and then I'm a bit constrained on space in here today, unfortunately, because I have some boxes being stored on the desk. I usually do this. Unfortunately not of Magic cards, just empty couple boxes I haven't got around to kind of sorting out anything with yet. This is some commander. This was of value at some point. I don't know if it still is. Another Path there. I mean, Path's obviously dropped off. Is this the Necrons Precon? So there's cards from, it seems like a lot of different 40k Precons, which is interesting. I don't know if they'll all be in here. It feels like there's not enough cards here for, oh, this is the Zombies Precon, the starter Precon. Yeah, it feels like there's not enough cards here for there to be every card from all of these Precons. Although, having said that, there is, what, two full fat pack boxes here, so you never know. We might this is even another different, I don't think I've seen any cards from this, the Horrors, Mind Flayers and Horrors one from what set was it? AFR? No, was it AFR or it's like a D&D thing? Not AFR, Baldur's Gate Commander. Another random foil. Original Eldraine stuff there. These are all just a proxy of a Warcry thing, I think that is. What's this? That handwriting I cannot read, but it's some sort of proxy card, and then a bunch of leftover sleeves there. Is this just all basics? This is a Jumpstart Dominaria thing. There's a foil one there, but yes, this looks like it's pretty much all basic lands. Oh, there's another one of these. Where if the deck comes with two. And then we've got some tokens. These are all the tokens that come with the Zombie Precon, I would imagine. A bunch of zombies and zombie knights. Another 40k card there. Some more basics. What have we got here? This is more stuff from the zombies deck by the looks of it. I'll have to go through and pull out all these like Sol Rings and stuff from the commons and uncommons pile. Yeah, that's a bunch of stuff from the Zombie Precon. A bunch more basics there. And then we're getting to the end of this first fat pack box here. This looks like more zombies stuff to me. I know Distant Melody has had value at some point, whether it still does, I don't know. They just reprint cards so much now. Obviously some of them end up coming back to having value, but it's just so hard to keep track of, you know, there's cards that have historically had a bunch of value and then have held that value for a long time and then get reprinted 3 times within 6 months and suddenly you don't have any. But it's hard to keep track these days of Ooh, that's nice. A Surge foil Celestine from the foil precon. That is pretty spicy. But yeah, so no, I was just saying that like it's very hard to, like, I was used to be pretty good at keeping track of kind of the commons and uncommons that historically held a lot of value, or you know, like were a couple bucks, whatever. But it's really hard now because we're in an era where just because a card held historical value for a long time, it doesn't actually mean that at any given time it still does. Like, we're in the era where it's much less likely for a card that historically was valuable to hold value still than any other, I feel. So unfortunately, my price memory of a lot of things, which used to be pretty good, has suffered a lot within the last year or two. But that said, I'm pretty sure we have already done as good as we needed to do from this. We've got the stack of rares there, and we'll be moving on to box number 2 now. Well, actually no, I'll do this little box of things here quickly first. So there's another random foil. I feel like it's unlikely that we'll get a foil, like a foil Commander Precon, 40k Precon in here, but you never know. That's got confused a bit by the symbol there, but that's just a unset thing. This is almost all the wrong way around, but it might just be a big pile of basics. I've got a couple of foil ones. We've got some like full art basics in there, so there's a rare land there. Some more foils. Another 40k one there. That's another. I'll just move the rare pile a bit more in view. Temples. I mean, temples are technically rares, I guess. Kind of funny to me that they've not reprinted them at lower rarity than rare, but I guess these days they're kind of relegated to Commander Precon only cards. Like, they don't really. Yeah, they could be reprinted in standard, and they were in Theros Beyond Death not that long ago. Although I guess Theros Beyond Death was probably longer than I kind of think it was. When was it? The beginning of 2020. So nearly 4 years. That is somewhat depressing to think about. No, as I always say, the pandemic kind of messes with, or at least with my time perceptions, and it kind of feels like everything that happened during those couple of years, you know, those couple of years just kind of ended up not really feeling like time passing. So when I think it's been a year or two since this happened, and then you're like, oh, it's been 4 or 5 years, and you're like, oh, okay. Creeping carpet there. Whoops, sorry about that. I just knocked the camera in my attempt to get another box. But it's fine, we should be back now and carrying on. Oh, that's not a foil. Lots of basics. I guess since there was a bunch of Commander decks and fat packs here, it makes sense that there'll be a bunch of basics, but I'll just have to go through and take the full art ones out and then chuck the regular ones into the bulk box. Is that foil? Yeah. Obviously it's like you just end up with so many basic lands when you're just playing Magic normally even, let alone buying big lots like this. And they make so many full art lands these days that there's not much reason to keep, you know, sort of regular non-foil. Is that foil? I don't think so, no. Yeah, there's not much reason to keep, unless you specifically like the arts of a certain regular version of a land. I do have one of my decks does have regular non-foil basics from New Phyrexia. If anyone remembers, it's like the one with the big big sort of red moon in the background, the mountain. But yes, unless you specifically care about that, yeah, I find there's just so much reason to keep them, because every set now basically has some crazy full art lands, like those, the new ones from Capenna, not Capenna, Ixalan with like the, you know, stylized art and stuff. Like, they're not even just full art anymore, they kind of all have their own unique look to them. And it's just not worth holding on to huge stacks of regular lands, I don't think. Oh, this is another precon guy from, I think that card is still decent value, although it has been reprinted in Doctor Who, so. But yeah, that's the Legends precon from Dominaria there. Oh, there's another random garbage thing. And I keep putting cards on the wrong pile, so you can see I'm a little bit out of practice at doing this. Like I said, it's been unfortunately quite a long time. I have still been looking at listings and stuff for collections, but like I said, I just haven't picked up anything for a long time. There just hasn't been much in the way of good deals that I've seen generally. Obviously, anyone who is familiar with trying to buy, even just normally, not even just like lots of Magic cards online, knows that the quality of the sort of listing information tends to be quite poor in a lot of cases. And so I'm generally quite loath to spend large amounts of money on, you know, listings with very bad pictures, because you just don't know what you're going to end up getting, and it's much more, you know, much less risk to gamble on lots like this, where even if it does turn out to be all bulk, you are only down, you know, a few pounds or dollars or whatever, than if you end up spending hundreds and getting just a big pile of garbage. So that's part of it. But also, the amount of lots has just seemed to be less over the last year or so. Obviously it's hit and miss, and I've had good and bad runs in the past with these things. As you can kind of tell by the upload schedule, I hit a point last year, I think, where I just had, you know, multiple buys in a month. But for whatever reason, yeah, this last year or so has been very dry on lots that have felt like they've been worth picking up. Although I think we've hit a pretty good one here. I will have to go through everything at the end, and I think, although we have a lot of rares, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are fairly bulky, but I think we've got like that foil Celestine from the 40k deck, I reckon is pretty close to the value of this by itself almost. So I can't remember exactly how much she is, but I had one in I picked one up for a deck, and I think she was like $20 or $30 in Surge Foil. So if that's correct, like I said before, the price memory of things these days is very bad, and it's possible that it has swung around in some form. But yes, if that's at all accurate, then it's kind of already paid for it. And the rest of the stuff is just gravy, even if it ends up being a huge pile of bulk basics and stuff, and bulk rares. But it looks like we're doing pretty well so far in general. This is just the Haywire Mite there is, I'm pretty sure that's still like $1, but I'll go through the commons and uncommons again at the end and pull everything out. We're almost done with the second box, which has not been as good as the first one, but I cannot complain in any way. So this has been kind of a lot more just like random cards from packs than precons, commons and uncommons and stuff, which is fine, but obviously less interesting than pulling out big piles of rares. Is that foil? No. This is a lot of what Dominaria remastered stuff here, which again, some of these commons and uncommons probably had value at some point. but the Dominaria Remastered reprint probably crashed a lot of the ones that did. Some football cards there, kind of popular in the UK for kids and stuff, or at least they were. Got Yu-Gi-Oh too there. I remember, I mean, I was never into it, but I remember kids in my school back in the day having them. Kind of, I guess, a precursor to stuff like Magic, although you obviously can't play games with them. It's a very chunky one. Some more tokens, some more like 40k stuff. So this is the last little bit of this box here, and then we have the final one coming up in a second. Oh, that's not stacking those on the wrong pile there again, unfortunately. So yes, this little stack here is the final part. We're back to some Commander stuff, which is nice, maybe. Yeah, there's some of the Necron cards. Some of these I'm pretty sure have some value still too. I know there was a lot of hype around some of them when the decks first came out, and some of those have dropped quite a lot over time. But I'm pretty sure some of them are still, because they reprinted the Commander decks a bunch of times, the 40k ones, because obviously they sold well. Which meant that a lot of the really high value stuff from them didn't stay super high. But there are still, like this was I think expensive for a while because it's a combo with something. I don't know whether it still is or not. But there was some combo for counters that you could play that a lot of people were excited about. A bunch of empty sleeves there. We have got some more random things. Foil, that guy from Crimson Vow. And that is the end of box 2. So, on to the final box now. We'll see if it has more of any of these Commander precons in it, which is my hope. But I think, like I said before, I'm pretty sure we have done fine regardless of what's in here. So all of this is basically just gravy at this point. But yes, it does look like we have at least some more. Sorry, there was a foil. Was that foil? No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's some more. There's a lot of Dominaria Remastered commons and uncommons, but like almost no rares, which is weird. Maybe we'll get to them. Or perhaps the person that sold this had, like, I don't think they intentionally kept anything based on what's in here, but they may have had a box stored somewhere else with more cards in that they just didn't find when they listed these or something like that. That sometimes happens with these sorts of things. Got some I'm not sure what that's even Magic related necessarily, another Yu-Gi-Oh thing. For Swamp, we've got this dude, Awakening Zone. The amounts of like the spread of the different 40k cards is very strange. There's like a few cards from multiple different decks. This is a load of D&D spell cards there. But yeah, it's like, I think we've got most of the zombie precon from whichever set. The Crimson Veil one. No, not Crimson. Oh, there was a Crimson Veil one, but this one is the starter precon. But otherwise, it feels as though it's kind of like 20% of a lot of different Commander precons, which is weird. Portal Hole again was a card that did have some value to it, but I'll check these again at the end. Ooh, that a dog or a child like mauled that to death. Luckily no card inside it. Silver Advocate. Is that from the Zendikar precon? Yeah, I think it is. No, that's a foil. There's so many like inserts these days too. Just gets mixed up in everything. Bunch of basics from precon there. For Thrumming Bird. Some more. Oh, whoops! I'll sort that out. Just some random stuff. So there's definitely like cards from packs in here. They're very like not that many rares from packs. It's just a very odd mix of cards. There's sometimes something you sometimes find with these collections is like it's interesting to see kind of the mix of things that the person clearly purchased. Sometimes it's very obvious. You just get like, oh, this is a full Commander Precon, or this is a Commander Precon with a few cards changed. Or it's like a bunch of packs from a certain era of the game. But this one is a strange mix of eras and sets, unlike many of the ones that I've picked up. As another life counter from like a panel in there. Just a lot of these random things. Some of these sleeves might be reusable, which would be nice. That is, oh, we've got another Surge foil from one of the that's the same, the what, Imperial Imperial 40k deck. Right, we're coming down to the last last few. This is the second to last pile of stuff here, I think. Oh, whoops. So many of these like random empty sleeves and D&D spell cards and things. Oh, that is a foil. Seems like we unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, like I said, it's hard to call any of this unfortunate, but this is the thick Surge foil, I'm pretty sure. Can't get out the sleeve, but yeah, it's just like it's not a card you can actually use. But what was I saying? Yeah, like this obviously can't be called bad, but I think unfortunately we took the best box first, which is always a shame. I like leaving the spicy stuff till the end. You know, just keeps it more exciting. Keeps me on my toes a bit more. There's a lot of those random Warhammer cards there too, which is, I think they're from like a skirmish game. They're like stat cards you use, Warcry or something like that. Some of these are from, this is like a TCG, which I don't think did very well. Like I've seen the packs being basically fire sold for very low amounts of money in the past. But yeah, some of these other cards, like I'll stop one quickly if I find another one, are from like a skirmish game that they use, which I have played. It's okay. There's another, oh, that's not foil, there's another swamp there. All right. Okay, like I was saying before I knocked the camera again, clearly I'm very out of practice with this. We're down to the last little section here. So the newest set I think is Brothers War, which came out, I can't remember exactly when, it was earlier this year sometime. I've got this guy, another one of the unusable cards from that precon. But yeah, like we've seen a few cards from the Necron deck. These dragons are decent, but this is unfortunately like the worst one of that cycle, one of the worst ones. Do you want the green one? Not the green one. Is it the green one? The one that makes like a million treasures, the red one probably. But yeah, we've seen like a few cards from the Necron deck, a few cards from the Tyranid deck. And And then those like couple of random foils from the Imperium deck, which is a very strange mix of stuff. So the random rare from whatever set that is. So yeah, all in all, this has been both very successful and very strange. Obviously I will do my usual scanning of all the cards and come back in with some totals for you at the end. Just go through these last couple, make sure we don't miss anything. But it looks like we have pretty much got to the... Is this also from a pre-con? Obviously it is. I think it is. It's from one of the whatchamacallit, the Brothers War pre-cons. Chandra from some other like starter deck or something. And yeah, that will be the last card. So yes, I will go through, I'll have to go through the commons and uncommons and pull out the ones that are good. And I'll come back with some scans and some values for you in a second. I am back with the things that are over $1. The price total should be up on screen too in the corner at some point during this. So we got commons and uncommons here. This is still like $5, which surprised me. This in foil's like $1 or $2. I think he's plain Pauper. Then I've got a couple of the 40k versions of stuff there, and then rares. A lot of these are only $1 or $2, like I sort of predicted. But this guy was about $15 or $10. This obviously was about, like I said in the earlier part of the video, about 25. This was like $5. A couple of cards from the Necron deck that were a few bucks too. This guy wasn't super expensive, but he did cross the threshold. This Showcase Dragon was like $7 or $8 as well. So again, not the best one of the cycle, but a pretty good pull from this kind of random buy. So yeah, it came to about $130 overall. Like I said, which is a pretty good total for, we probably spent about $25 when you convert it. I'm always not 100% sure about the exchange rates, but I like doing it in dollars because obviously most Magic players are, that's what they'll sort of use as a reference. The market for like the UK is a bit different, but not different enough that I think it's worth, you know, making a huge distinction. But yeah, it's strange to see like random 40k cards in a random buy like this, but you know, definitely not a bad thing. And hopefully if I can get my hands on any more interesting lots, it will not be another year before I make another video. So yeah, hope you have a good day and enjoy.